Yes, sir. Welcome in to a very special episode. Sports Talking with JB. This is the legendary episode because we have a very special guest on the night. First off, DJ Seaway, my podcast partner. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm feeling blessed, brother. Feeling blessed.
I know you excited, extra excited
Yeah.
about this episode, man. Thank y'all
Oh
for tapping
yeah.
in tonight. I see y'all in the chat. I'm gonna get to y'all in just a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
first things first, let me introduce our special guest tonight, man. He really don't need no introduction. Y'all know who he is, man. One of the greatest players in the Alabama football history, legendary NFL player, Cowboys legend, the
Yes,
man,
sir.
the myth, the legend, George Teague.
Yes, sir. In the house. I'm trying to figure out. I gotta up my game on the music on the podcast or somewhere, man. I was over here jamming, boy. I'm like, yeah, let's let that play. We need a little highlight. I just need to hear the music. You know what I'm saying?
I got somebody for you now. I got somebody for you. All you gotta do is holler at me now. I got somebody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. Thank you very much.
Hey man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
I reached out, man, and you hit me right back. So that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And for everybody who watches, man, the Bama Standard Tees Take podcast, are part of the Bama Standard Network. I do some shows on the Bama Standard, so this is all the connection right there, man. Shouts out to Justin Riley and everybody at the Bama Standard for all they do. And we got some love in the chat tonight already. Yes. So y'all come on in here. Come on in.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We're glad you're here. Glad you're here. Shoot, I'm gonna get in the chat too, man. I can do both. I can multitask. You know what I'm saying?
Come on in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We know how we do it. Lots of roll tide. Lots of our regulars are gonna be in here tonight, man. Even some of the Bama Standard folks in there. So it's gonna be a great show, man. It's gonna be a great show.
Yeah. Let me just go ahead and say shout out to that too, man. Appreciate the Bama Standard for let me be part of this family too. Thank you for all that you guys do and the support that you give us at Teague's Take, man. It's just so much good content out here, and you guys bring it, man, all the time. So I appreciate you guys, brother.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. We were live here on Sports Talk with JB, man. Please hit the like button if you're watching this or you're watching the replay. Hit the like. Share this to somebody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. This is going to be a legendary episode. First things first, we're going to ask you a couple questions. Y'all saw the intro video. We was just talking about it. Seaway, I'm going to let you ask him the first question before we move forward.
All right, Mr. T, ADT, Coach T, all the above. I want to start with your performance in the 1992 National Championship game, the pick six, and my favorite Bama play, the strip fumble. Man, how special was those two plays that night, and what was going through your head on those plays?
Yeah, man, those are big, and people always kind of ask me which one I like better and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they both meant a lot to me. I would say the one that's actually been the biggest cash reward is me actually chasing down Lamar and running that back the way I was thinking about it, man. I was scared, man. I was out of position, fellas, I think it was set up that way for me to kind of give a little bit of extra effort to be able to talk to people about what it means to never quit, and to never give up, because it could have been easy for me just to fade on off into the sunset and let him go score a touchdown, but that's not the way we built it, Bama. That wasn't the standard at all. So, that is one of the most exciting plays. It's really, I think if you can cumulate it every time my family sees it, it was one at the end when I actually took the helmet off. A lot of times you don't see that on there. It's kind of when you just kind of got this nice little trot, and I snatched my helmet off, and and I think I actually started headbutting people and all this kind of stuff. I was just so amped, so that feeling was great. But then the interception, man, that's dream come true. That is actually what I dreamed about. That is the play that I wanted to make. I was trying to figure out what would I do if I intercepted the Heisman Trophy winner and took it back for a touchdown. That was what I thought about all the time. Played over and over in my head. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the funny part is I didn't even get to do what I wanted to, what I had already planned out. Right, I was trying to get there, but everybody was tackling me and hitting me and all that. What I wanted to do was be able to strike the Heisman pose. Right,
You hit the
okay,
high step though. You hit the high step in there.
Yeah,
man, that came out of nowhere. Nah, that just that thing just showed up. But that was a moment where it was just like I guess you always kind of in practice. I always try to work on stripping the ball and all that. So it wasn't to me. It wasn't. It was a normal routine for me. It was a big play, but the act. But to be able to be on the biggest stage, you're the only game on, and get an interception for a touchdown to really turn the game around was kind of.
Yeah.
And I need to tell Mr. F from. Boy, I would have caught you running backwards. Probably. I'm looking at your picture right there. I find backpedal faster than you running forward. But anyway, yeah, great question, man.
So, and I wanted to ask, why didn't you get a penalty for taking your helmet off after that? After that strip,
I'm going to say that I think the refs were so caught up with not knowing what the heck just happened that the last thing they were thinking about was the helmet, because I don't know if there'd been that stage where someone actually took the ball and started running the other way, because you kind of see the refs looking around like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So, we were all over here kind of celebrating. They were trying to figure out who got the ball. There was a penalty beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
With being offsides, which I don't think he was offsides. But anyway, I think there was so much going on that they weren't even paying attention to it. They were just trying to figure out, man, this game is nuts. They beating the brakes off of Miami. We don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Those two plays really stand out, man. Great performance in that game. Also, I want to ask you, how special was that 92 team, man? One of the best teams ever, I think. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually get enough credit for how close we were. We talk about it all the time, but I think just the way times are going, it's a little bit different. I say we were unique because there are a lot of great football teams that had a lot of talent and things of that nature. I guess we'd be compared to, I don't know, 2011, 2020. What does this really look like? But for us, I think what made it so special is that, we literally did everything together. It was different. Back in that day, I started talking about them starter jackets. Y'all had me cracking up talking about the starter jackets. But back in the day with all our little flowered shirts and all this kind of stuff, we were in a dorm, man. All together. You cut up. You went to go get your haircut. You went to go get some chicken wings. You went to the CC, for y'all to know that the club, man. All the things you had to do to go together. It's just you couldn't go, and that's just the way it was. And if something was popping off, it was an easy call. Like, hey, man, our boys are acting up. We need to get them out of here, or we need to throw down together. That kind of thing. And I think that led over into the field because we were so competitive with each other as well.
Yeah. So y'all was like a family, man. You don't really see that a lot these days. They living off campus. Everybody got their own cliques. But like you mentioned, everybody was in the dorm. You had to pretty much do everything together. And to this day, I know some guys, Langham, like some guys you still talk to today.
No, that's the truth. It was it. I think that made the difference. I really do. We had to do so much. Man, you had to eat the same old nasty steak that they gave you down there. We didn't know it was nasty at the time. We just happened to get some steak, right? We had to play spades together. We were, it was just. I'll never forget those moments in the dorm. And the thing that I think even this new generation don't understand is when you said like a frat, we considered ourselves a frat. We were going toe to toe with the Kappas, the Qs, the Alphas or whatever. When we said Bama Psi Phi, that's what we meant to the day I die. We rode with that brand. Like, no, we don't have to, even though we had guys in other fraternities, but those of us that weren't, that was our fraternity. So we wanted to step, with ourselves. We wanted to hang out. We were singing our chants. We were taking over the party, and if someone wanted to come in and do it, we're like, no, man, this is our house. This is our party. So um, I wish. I don't know if the guys feel that way now with all the transfers and all that other kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I don't. They
Mhm.
say Bama Sci-Fi, they wear the shirts and all that, but I don't know if they really feel it like we did.
Right.
Right.
And you still show up to all the events. I met you. I think it was last year. You was at one of the events for A-Day, and all the Bama Sci-Fi guys were there. And you always show up, man. To this day, to all the events and all the things that's going on.
We ain't going. I ain't going nowhere, boss. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be a little bit harder now because I'm, coaching. My weekends a little bit more tied up for it. But man, me
Yeah.
and my wife are always trying to get back. My folks are still in Montgomery. My wife's
Yeah.
folks are still in Montgomery. I got family in Huntsville, or actually in Madison. In other areas around the state. So, Bama's still home, and I just got to get back. And I love Alabama football. I love everything about it. I love the university. So to
Yeah.
get back, oh shoot, we were just in Birmingham in May for the reunion, the induction, the Hall of Fame induction.
Hall of
Got to see
Fame.
Ingram, those guys, and I just feel like the more we can support and really keep this fraternity together is pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, and if everybody watching, man, everybody on this screen right now is from the Gump, Alabama. Montgomery,
Go.
Sure.
and I mean, even though T, you went to JD, we went to Lee.
It was Lee. We was Lee.
Man, I hated Lee too, man. We couldn't beat
I-
them for nothing in football. They had them old dudes run that old funny offense, man. But I think I got him 1 year. Got him 1 year when we went to the semifinals, but that was always
yeah.
like the
Was that?
rivalry. It wasn't Lanier, it wasn't Carter at the time. It was we needed to beat those generals, and man,
Mm-hmm.
boy, that was a good one out of Crampton Bowl. I don't know if y'all was running around out there catching football and not paying attention to the games or what y'all was doing, but that was some serious football games back
That was
in
some
the
nasty football
There
in
was
them
no.
90s.
Hey, we was in there. We was in there.
Yeah,
day. Yes, sir.
yes, we were. Shouts out Bama Standard Network. There we go.
And
Sure.
it did for us. Then it led for doing track season because I was more of a track. We couldn't stand JD in track because y'all always had a good 4x1 team as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was always competitive.
We had the
Yeah.
big head twins from Twins Gates. It's about our team, man. They ready to go.
Yeah.
Them dudes is fast, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I was fast. They had that track speed. I was like, good Lord, these boys. But fun fact about that, we were actually I guess it was my senior year probably, we actually broke the 4x1 uh relay record in the state at that time. I know it's been smashed since then, but that was
Yeah.
another highlight for me to be on one of the fastest teams that came through the state at that time.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
what's up. All right, so a lot of people know you got drafted by Green Bay Packers, but everybody knows you from the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Legendary Cowboy guy.
Yes, sir.
Seaway got a good question. He been meaning to ask you for years.
Yeah.
Seaway, what's the question, bro?
The T.O. Star incident. What is the story, your take from the story behind this? I listened to T.O.'s take. He was on some podcast last week, and he said his side of the story. What was your side of the story?
Man, first of all, why you still listen to T.O.? Y'all know by now he just be blabbing all the time.
He a T.O. fan.
I know he's from Alabama and all that kind of stuff, but you need to get out of Thomasville, man. Come on back to the Cup, man, and stay over in the other part of town. But what's funny, what's kind of I shouldn't even say it's funny. What's interesting, right, is that maybe you just heard him on another. He tends to go to another place to really talk about this, right?
Right.
Um, I don't say, and I want to answer your question, right? But it's when we had the chance to be together when he came to the Cowboys. You remember when he was there, and I just retired.
Yeah.
And I actually tried to have a personal conversation with him. He wouldn't have a conversation with me.
Wow.
NFL to NFL, player to player, whatever. It's kind of like me and Lamar Thomas. We can still talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually pretty cool right now. But T.O., whatever, he didn't want to have no conversation with me. So that's kind of weird to me, right? So when we're
Right.
talking about the story and however it played out, it doesn't really matter to me. Here's what I know: we were getting our butts kicked. I can say that it was hot as heck outside on that old raggedy turf, the Astro turf. It was called. It was carpet, right, laid over concrete. And
Yeah.
we were getting it handed to us. My other safety, Darren Woodson, everything. It just got tossed out, and I'm out there, and they still were putting on us. And man, we had some words the whole game, right? The whole game. I didn't talk about his mama too much, but we did have some conversation going on. And so, yeah, there was some tension and stuff going on to us. And the thing about it, right, is we always talk about bro code, right? Y'all out there, there's
Right.
certain things you don't do
Right.
in a game. So what he always referring to? Well, on a series before or play before or whatever it was that I got mad with because he kind of broke a bro code too. Outside of all this other stuff, when you're getting ready to take a knee or you're getting ready to do something or you're getting ready to kneel, y'all play ball and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody basically stands still. The quarterback takes a knee or spikes the ball, and you go on to the next play, right?
Right.
Not this dude, he wanted to go full out block or whatever. I'm like, okay, all right. I got something for that on the top of this, the kind of stuff. So he's, he done ran out to the star. All this stuff is kind of building up. So now I got that old Dwayne Gates eyes on him, just like, hey man, I don't know what you're gonna do, but it ain't gonna go down like that. So when he ran out to the field, out to the star the second time, I really just kind of lost it. To be honest, it was just reaction. There's just certain things you don't do that I've been taught by my family. It was, you don't come in my house, you don't put your feet on the coffee table. My dad would tell me all the time, man, get your feet off my table.
Yeah.
Get your feet off my couch or whatever. You don't do that. Take your shoes off, in this area. Certain things places you couldn't sit or whatever. That's just why I was raised, right? And so there's just certain things you just couldn't do. So it was natural. It was natural. For me, regardless of what anybody thinks. And I didn't even think much about it, honestly, fellas. And I didn't even know it was that big of a deal. As weird as this may sound, I didn't know it was that big of a deal because I'd already got kicked out. Right, I'd messed up because I left the stadium. I'd never been kicked out of a game before, so I didn't even know that I wasn't supposed to leave. Right, but I'm watching the news. And I'm just seeing this play over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, uh-oh. You're like, this is a little bit deeper than what I thought it was. So, and I didn't really know until the next day when they actually came in and handed me that fine and say, we appreciate you, but you got to pay up.
Yeah.
But see that play, man, that moment right there is legendary, and you were protecting the star. You was protecting the shield, which is that star, and to this day, you are a Cowboy legend.
Just for protecting the star.
Yeah, for protecting the star.
I don't know why it's such a hard concept, with that guys. And I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I just don't know. People don't. It's just a sign of the times, right? And I know people don't always want to hear back in the day or whatever, but people, you got to ride for a brand, man. If you're going to be in it, be all the way in. When I was with the Packers, you alluded to that, I was all in with the Green Bay Packers. They drafted me. I was first round. I was all in. I mean, everything. The community wanted to play. Man, I was hurt when they traded me. You know what I mean? I'm like, golly. But then the Cowboys picked me up, and guess what? I'm all in. I'm here. They gave me a new life, new brand. I really like Jerry Jones. I had a new chance. I really liked the teammates. It was kind of like Alabama in that sense. They did everything together, man. It was back home. We were going to eat Wingstop together and we hanging out at wherever. It was just, it brought me back to that. And so I've had a new love for the Dallas Cowboys. And so if it was going to be some kind of disrespect, it was like, no, man, this is probably where I'm going to retire from. And I want to finish out here. So, out of all the trials and tribulations, that's how it worked out, and I felt good about it.
Yeah, and you actually went to the Miami Dolphins and then back to the Cowboys. I think you were Brock Mary and y'all kind of swapped places, didn't you?
multiple times. Yep. Yeah. I played with him. Then I went to Miami. Then he came to Miami. Then I went back to
At the Dallas.
Okay.
the Cowboys. So, that was a good dude, man. That dude could play some safety. I know he's
Yeah.
kind of on the verge. He got some numbers where he probably could be considered for Hall of Fame a little bit. He probably was just too nice and he a little too light skinned, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So man, y'all watching us now, man, hit the like button. Like I say, share to somebody, subscribe to the channel. We got the legendary George Teague on here. Now, we about to talk about some Cowboys. This one of the main reasons we got you here. Matter of fact, let's move to the next screen right here. Let me add Teague on there. All right, so I want to ask you about the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. How would you grade the offseason as far as free agency and the draft and this pickup right here?
All right. Yeah, man. I'm dude. First, I'm gonna say I had picked months ago that Booker was coming to the Cowboys. So regardless of how people felt, I thought it was a great pick. I think that started off as a whole bunch of identity. It was like, do you get a wide receiver? Do you not? So originally in the offseason, I would have gave the guys a D. Now I just made my final report. I'm just saying that because there wasn't really much. I just felt like we needed something for the fans, some kind of splash. We needed a wide receiver. The running backs at the time, they're like, what is this really going to be looking like? And we just didn't do that much. They picked up some guys. There's probably more free agency moves, but I just didn't feel like it was a serious statement. After the draft, though, I thought, okay, this is pretty good. They hit on all the areas. You got a lineman, you did get a running back, couple running backs. You knew some linebackers. They hit a lot of spots. So I actually gave them a B on the draft, B minus probably on the draft. But then they come up with this George Pickens thing, and that it kind of shook me a little bit. Does he got baggage? Yeah, okay, I got it. But if he pans out like he's supposed to, bro, this could be a genius move. So now I've bumped him up to like an A in free agency. But I think it's all dependent on this guy right here. Does he try to keep himself straight so he can get to a new contract, or does it become a distraction? That's scary. Does he become a distraction? On all accounts right now, for what we're hearing out here in Dallas and that kind of stuff, he's straight and narrow, just trying to get it done, bonding with CD and accepting his role on whatever that's going to be. And we'll see until the balls don't start flying his way or whatever it is, he start getting upset. So I think this is I'm feeling a whole lot better about where the Cowboys are at now than I was going into free agency.
Okay. See, wait, go with your question. What you got for him?
Do you think that him and CD is enough to get us to the championship as far as skill positions, or do you think we need to add one more skill player to this offense?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're enough to answer your question. I think the X factor is, do one of these running backs actually take us to a new level? They got Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, and of course, right there, Jadon Blue. Now, I don't know that we're predicting that Jadon Blue is going to be starting. He was a 5th round pick, and you can kind of say whether that's a steal and all that kind of stuff. But it really does do Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders, can they become that two-headed monster that you really need to have to run the game? I mean, if you're going to get these linemen, there's some good, solid linemen up front. You still need to make sure you got some depth up there. But if you can't run the ball, fellas, I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't.
That's true.
You can't win it. So I'm not overly excited about the guys yet. I will get a chance to go watch them practice. In this month, I'm going to go, and then I'll probably hit some of the training camp before we actually hit football with my high school here, so I can at least get some good intel and see it kind of up close and personal as it starts to pan out, where I can maybe bring back some more information to you guys after I actually lay my eyes on these guys. But I haven't attended any practices yet. But I will at the end of next week, so I'll have a better idea. Let's see how those running backs are moving around.
Okay. Speaking of running backs, why didn't y'all keep Rico Dowdle?
First of all, I'm gonna say I want you to change your question to why Jared Jones ain't keep him. I don't know why Jared Jones ain't keep that man. Golly. I mean, you know, you had oh shoot, what's the guy's name before him that went to the Titans?
Pollard.
Tony
Yeah,
Pollard.
Pollard was a good one. You know, you ride them out, then you don't want to pay him, and then you know Rico comes around, and I think he got better, and I think he understood a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
They started doing more things with him, and then you let him go, and that's what I think. That's where it's so deflating. It's just like, man, we just need some consistency at the spot. You know, you can't go one running back, then another running back the next year because Deuce Vaughn and those guys aren't the guys to be your answer to it. You know, so you got to have some consistency, and that's what bothers me the most, fellas, is that you still the two guys that they brought in, they're both on 1-year contract. So even if one of them does very well, he gonna be gone the next year because he's gonna sign a contract with somebody else. Then you're doing it all over again. So I wish we would just get a staple guy at running back. Just say, this is our dude. You know, we got to give him 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he ain't got to be the first round pick, but he needs to be someone that's reputable, for lack of a better word, so that we can, you know, keep that running game going. So the third guy needs to be not a wide receiver, but I think it needs to be the running back.
Another running back. Now GT, me and Seaway, we covered the Cowboys because you know he's a big Cowboy fan, and we were in the impression that Jerry was going bargain bin shopping. He was shopping at the thrift store, at the dollar store, but in the free agency.
Yeah.
That was the joke that we was making. Like, why you get $3 million here, $2 million here? Like, bro, put the money together and go get you a big time running back. You done spent $6 million. Got your two running backs that are hardly healthy, that you can't really depend on. Go get somebody you can depend on.
Your analysis is right on point. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the way he runs his businesses and do everything else that he's trying to get everything for a buck and just continue to make some money. I don't know. Jerry Jones is cheap like that until he get ready to buy his yacht, his helicopter, the house that he live in, and the cologne that he wear. He don't cut no corners on that kind of type of stuff, right?
Right.
But we're cutting corners out here, and I don't think you should do that. He's. You ever met that person, man, that just always want to do opposite of what everybody think is supposed to happen? That's what Jerry Jones is, man. You know what you're supposed to do. You know you're supposed to sign Derrick Henry when he was free. You just know it.
There you go.
So he gonna entertain it, but he ain't really gonna do it. Same thing. We're all saying we need this wide receiver. He ain't gonna do it until it's his time for him to try to figure out how he want to do it, right? So this running back thing, he's totally sold that. Hey, I don't need to spend a whole lot of money on a running back. I'm gonna try to nickel and dime somebody, and I'm gonna, see if it works. Try to make it work because I want to be the mad scientist on this type of thing when he should just go ahead and be like, I don't want to say no other teams, but he just need to open up his doggone book. Yeah, just open up the dog pocketbook, man. Wallet, just pay, man. Let's go, man. Because it's been too long, man. 30
it's
years,
too long.
Man. It's been too long, man. Make it hard.
Too long.
Seaway, what you got?
Okay, how do you feel about the defense and the expectation of Michael Parsons?
Oh man, I just saw one of your things go through here. Said the defense is weak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You know what? I don't know if I agree with that, and it's really because I was just actually restudying the not depth chart, but the roster a little bit, right? So it really depends. What my concern was really what does the linebacker stuff look like? Because I mean, you got Maris, but not having the guy that came in from Minnesota, I'm drawing this blank on his name, but him leaving, I didn't feel like we had any depth there. So now I at least feel a little bit better that there might be a couple guys that we can play there. This all going to depend on our boy too. What is Diggs going to do? Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to get hurt again? Deron Bland, does he come back? Well, how does this feel with this corner? So where it's almost like a coin flip. I think he could be really good or bad on the defense. You got a new coordinator, so maybe that helps. Now, Micah, I think Micah's going to be Micah. I think he's still going to be a doggone beast. There's no way to block the dude. It don't matter where you put him. I think he's going to be a good leader for the squad. But hey, man, that dude playing for his contract too. And the worst thing that could happen is if Jerry just go ahead and keep trying to pull these stunts again and then don't want to pay. They know he should have already had this deal done, man. Just go ahead and break this dude off, man. I don't need the storylines in August that Michael holding out. They ain't gonna play, and then you sign him the day before the first game or something, man. Don't do that, man.
He does that all the time.
Yeah,
that was my prediction. I said he's gonna wait. He's gonna do like he did CD. He waited till the very last, right before the season started, to sign CD.
CD, Zach Martin, all of them, everybody went through, man.
He signed Dak last minute.
Yeah, man, just stop, man. Everybody knows it's the same thing. What we just said. We know you're gonna sign him, so just just got to be too much drama. Then everybody get all worked up, and then God forbid somebody happens, somebody get hurt or don't look good, and then everybody it's not good for the fan base. In my mind.
But Jerry always has to have the Cowboys at the top of discussion. So it's got to be something for the media to play on. Whatever he does, it's got to be media driven. So he's doing this for a reason. And GT, you know him better than all of us.
Man, call the man Jerry Springer, Mario Povich, Judge Judy, whoever, somebody. Yeah, they need all the, he just needs to sit up there with his gavel and be like, oh, it's my way or the highway kind of thing. Now I'm saying that because I do like Jerry Jones, right? But I am an analyst as well, and I see how he does things, right, that I don't necessarily agree with. Now, he does a lot of stuff for our family, and he's very supportive. He's supporting our camp that we're doing in Belgium, the Teague's Take is doing over there. So, that's awesome. I think that it's good enough that he knows where my heart is when it comes to him personally. It's just the decision that he makes. I'm hoping that he's letting go of the reins a little bit, just because you can see with the way that free agency kind of went. At least 2 years ago, he didn't open up the checkbook at all. At least this year we nickel and dime. Yeah, maybe we're moving towards a couple dollars and a couple $5 bills. Before we get to the hundreds and thousands, at least you get a little bit like, okay, I can get a better pair of shoes, because he can afford it.
Yeah, I could work with that.
Yeah, that's good enough for us for now. Now, my boy Ephraim made a request, and we was gonna do this anyway. So it's time, and it's been a talking point. I know last week when the schedules came out, T, I made a comment, and I went probably too far, right? And so we want to know, and everybody wants to know. This is the question right now. The too early prediction. How many games do you see the Cowboys winning this season?
Okay. My way too early prediction was that we're 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know I've seen some people up to 12-5, giving a couple more, some lower, but I if you get to 11, because the second half is a beast.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell y'all guys what I worry about. And nobody ever factor this stuff is injuries. We always have some kind of devastating injury that's going to put us in place. So when you look at this deal, at Philly, do you win it? Are we ready? Again, I think this all kind of goes into is what does the camp look like? Do we got holdouts? Are our corners healthy? I'm picking Philly to win the first one.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if you want me to go through this thing a little bit.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Do your thing.
Got us beating the Giants. We'll be at home. they're a little bit more improved and better, but I still just think we're better than them.
Right.
Go to Chicago. They're still young. I still think they're working through some things. I think you pull that one out on the road. So that puts us at 2-1. You play Green Bay. No, they ain't got Aaron Rodgers, the killer, but that Love is still a pretty good dude, and they kind of built like us, bunch of kind of half named people. I feel like we lose it.
Wow.
Most people probably say no, but I
At the crib?
maybe I'm stuck just because the same thing we said when we lost 48 or whatever it was to Green Bay at the crib in the playoffs too.
That's right.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. And then it also depends which Dak shows up.
Well, that's right. Right. And we beat the Jets. I think we're just better than them. I think we beat Carolina. Washington at home. I'm going to take us to beat them at home. I think that's one where we're just bouncing back a little bit. You got the Dan Quinn kind of mystique and all this kind of stuff in the losses of Jaden, but I think that's one that we try to sneak out. All right, so what am I at? I'm losing track of
Broncos
losses here. No, I mean of actually what I got for the win-loss record at this point. I should have been checking that down. I think I got three losses.
3 losses.
I think you got 2. You got
Eagles,
Eagles.
Okay, so I had the Eagles and Green Bay, and I think we beat Washington the first time. Okay. This one in Denver is tough, right? A lot of different things. People don't really know about this old air quality kind of thing. I've actually played up there. It does make a difference. You can't prepare for it. You can prepare for wet ball stuff. Maybe heat, try to figure out how to make yourself cold or something in the indoor facility. But that air, man, they're pretty decent. They're coming around. That's a battle of the head coaches, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
I think we lose. All right. So I think we beat Arizona. I think we win at the bye. I think we beat the Raiders. Then I think we beat Philly the second time.
Okay. There's only 3 losses right now. You at Kansas City. You only got 3 losses.
Yep, but we're about to lose to Kansas City. And wait, which one's the back-to-back? So, yes. So you're going to lose there. I don't think you beat Detroit. Yeah, I think they're still too strong, right? Oh, my God. Justin Jefferson, this whole thing right here, Lord have mercy. Again, what are our corners looking like? Are they even healthy? It's at home.
It's late in the season. Yeah.
So maybe I'm at 11-6 because that I don't know. Maybe the quarterback situation. I guess I can go either way with the Vikings. I think you lose to the Chargers. I think their mentality is the mentality that we want to have. We need to run the ball, smash the football. I don't think we have that mentality. I think we lose. I think you lose to Washington. You win at the Giants.
So you got that's 10-7.
Oh, well, see. Dang.
That's 10-7.
I'm right on point. Okay. Well, there it is. That's what I got. Now, maybe one of them goes up. Maybe you flip Minnesota. And the Green Bay deal, again, I need to watch, so one of the things, fellas, and please, if you guys are ever talking pro stuff, I'd love to be able to come on and talk to you guys because I don't do a whole lot of that. No, we don't do any of that on Teague's Take. We're only talking Alabama. But all the analyst stuff that I do with CBS, Bally Sports, and maybe another show is all kind of driven around the NFL and the Cowboys. So I do have to study a lot of it. Again, I watch a lot of film and kind of get analytics and data and all that kind of stuff. So I think as we get to going, I can give you guys a better feel of how I actually feel from actually watching film and seeing how guys really look. Hopefully give some better predictions, after I kind of go see the Cowboys with my own eyes, but then also really dive into the film after preseason and at least a couple games into the season where I got some good data for you guys. You say you won't beat my Raiders. Man, they in trouble out there.
Yeah, man. So 10. Maybe I was premature with the 12-5. I really said that I wanted to get Seaway hype because Seaway is the big Cowboy fan. He's really. I'm channeling my inner Seaway.
What's
Trying to
Seaway
be.
say? 17-0?
No. Seaway, what you say, Seaway? What you got?
I'm with I either say 10-7 or 11-6 at the best
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
And I'm with, and to me, the thing is going to hurt us, especially against a team like the Vikings, is our corners. We got two corners coming back from leg injuries
See,
in a
man.
in a in a league where receivers are just some beasts.
Both of them receivers, we talking
Receivers are
about
beasts.
Jefferson, but that other guy they got on the other
Got-
side ain't no joke either.
So,
Yeah,
and then with
Addison.
Kansas, yes,
Yeah.
and then with Kansas City and all their weapons,
Oh
and
my
the only
goodness.
good thing I'm kind of okay with against the Vikings is we don't know what type of McCarthy he's going to be in that game. Maybe he'll be good or underrated or overrated.
I
We
agree.
don't know.
I agree.
So,
I
And
agree.
but
T, you're absolutely right about the Chargers. They're gonna run that ball with
yeah,
who did
Najee,
they pick? Yeah,
Najee
they got
Harris.
somebody else too. They got the kid Hampton in it. Then
I don't
who
know
did
who
They,
they
they
picked up. I have
they
to
picked
look
up in
that
the
up.
I,
draft? Who did they pick up in the draft?
okay, I know they got Najee. I think they did get another running back in the draft. I can't think
Yeah,
of
Man,
the
they
name.
just play
I think it's
hard
the
nosed
kid from North
football.
Carolina, I believe. I want
Yeah,
to say, or
And
did
and
the
Micah got to
Broncos
be able
get?
to play that run, but them linebackers got to get downhill. And if our corners aren't ready for this play action, y'all seen how our boy Diggs get on that play action sometimes. He can run down anything, but man, that's guys. This people don't know what physical football does to people. That's why I think we all want to get back to what the Cowboys used to be. Finesse
Right.
is fun, right? You're scoring a lot of points, but you look at the Eagles; they're a physical football team.
physical. They are
That's why
very
they went and got
physical.
Saquon. Maybe it don't look physical because he's running with big old gaps, but it's physical because them linemen are bullying people, and giving him the room to run. We gotta get that. That's why we need Tyler Booker as
Yeah,
Yes.
Cowboys. We need to have
yes.
him do his thing, and then Tyler Guyton to get with him. Steele is nasty
Mm,
as well, So I think we got the pieces up front to be a dominant team. It really just depends on how Schottenheimer is going to call the games. Are you going to try
Mhm.
to put it on Dak's arm? Because now, like you said, where's CD? Someone put that. He's going to get his catches, but can you get the running game going so you can get the play action to actually throw the ball to
Talk
George
about.
Pickens on a deep route
Right.
or a deep over by CD? Can you get one of those tight ends going?
Mhm.
So it's just feast or famine right now, brother.
Man, listen here. So let me do this right here. I'm gonna ask you this question to cap off our cowboy talk, right?
All right.
So is this finally the year, T, that y'all get over that hump? It's been like 30 years. 30 years.
Yeah.
Every year, the Cowboys fan base, and this man right here, Seaway, is one of them. Every year, he says, this is the year. We going to the Super Bowl. After the season, I have to console him each and every year after the season ends prematurely. We going to get them next year. We coming back next year. It's been 30 damn years, T. Is this the year where they finally get the monkey off the back and win the Super Bowl?
What'd you say? I ain't hear you. What? Hell no! What are you talking about, man? Hell, win a Super Bowl this year. I know Troy Aikman and all some of them guys went out there saying they picking up for the Super Bowl. We made some moves, but I don't know. I tell you what, if we do win it, y'all can't ever talk about Jerry Jones no more. But I don't. I just feel like there's still more teams that have done more than us to at least try to make the strongest efforts possible to do that, because I think you would have did more than just George
Okay.
Pickens if you really wanted
Yes.
to do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, That's all I got.
I just had to hear from you, T, because I mean, you know, but you get me right. You know, every year the Cowboys, this all year. You know how it is.
Well, you know what? Anybody that listens to me, y'all know I try to keep it fair, keep it real. I'm Homer, right, and all that, but I already know, man, sometimes things just don't work out right. You know, I felt that way about Alabama and certain things and were we going to win that championship. I didn't think we were going to win that championship last year. And I don't think the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I still think they're a running back short. Just think about all the teams in the playoffs, what they did, man. That no one really looks this deep dive. Who are these folks running backs? Who are their wide receivers and who are their quarterbacks? Do you think Dak is one of them dudes? Okay, I give CD his. Maybe he got some help now. But is our running back the dude that we need to have as well? Are you going to take Javonte Williams over Pacheco?
No.
Okay. Or Saquon. Or James Cook.
But like you mentioned early on, y'all could have had a Derrick Henry if you would have spent the money. Why not get Najee Harris? He was right there.
Do you think that Nick Chubb will be a good pickup in the offseason?
See, Wade, man, you don't get caught up in the clickbait like that, man. They just be throwing out names and stuff, man. There's a reason why he didn't do what he's supposed to do last year.
Injuries.
You go. I love the names. I tell you what, are you gonna take Nick Chubb in the first round of your draft, in your fantasy football draft next year?
Hell no.
Oh, he's gonna be all right there. Then hell no.
Ain't no way.
Never again.
I don't know if he's better than Miles Sanders or Javonte at this point. Now, you would ask me a couple of years ago, man, hey, go get that dude. But now, when we know, right, there's no difference. I won't even talk about people. I don't talk about me. When I got hurt, I knew how I felt. I know how my back felt and all this stuff, and I knew how hard I had to work. And it is hard to play, man, when you've been seriously injured.
Right.
Now, medical treatment and stuff, you can get back and all that kind of stuff. But, man, coming off knees, Achilles, those type of things, bro, that's a piece of work. And because most of the time you're scared. It ain't like you ain't healthy. It's just you feel like the other one getting ready to go. And then you kind of tiptoeing a little bit. Then you're like, man, why won't he explode? He healthy. We didn't put him through all the tests. Yeah, man, but it just you start thinking about the money and the next year and the career. And I'm just being real about that, man. It's just it's hard to take you a couple of years sometimes, most of the time to get back from serious injury. So, you can keep Chubb. Yeah. I don't want nobody from the Browns right now. Maybe one. Maybe the defensive end they got.
Oh man. So we on record. The Teague said the Cowboys are not going to win the Super Bowl. Playoffs will be 10-7 may get you in the playoffs, may not. True it depends because hell, you just had the Eagles and the Commanders in the damn NFC Championship game out your division. So it's gonna be hard to get 3 teams out the NFC East in the playoff.
Yeah, don't be talk too real on them, JB, man. If they're gonna click off, man. You know what I'm saying? You tell them to like and subscribe and all this kind of stuff, man.
It's tight, but it's right.
That's right.
It's tight, but
it's right. Hey, man, for real. So we got a little more time. Let's transition and talk a little bit of Alabama football because we got a lot of Alabama fans here, man. They want to hear. They want to hear what you're thinking about the team, man.
Cat Pool want to know. Cat Pool.
I know she do. I know there's a lot of them in the chat. There's a lot of them in the chat. So T, realistic, man, how you feel about this current team and how much pressure is Coach DeBoer under this season coming up?
Ooh. I don't know which one you want me to answer first. I can say that, man, he under a lot of pressure. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but I think that he's going to have more pressure than normal based upon how last year went and just the Alabama mystique and follow behind Nick Saban, that kind of thing. So I think he's got a tremendous amount of pressure to get into the playoffs, but also to have a good run at it. I don't know that he has to win it to be out of the hot seat, but he's got to be deep down in there, I think. What I feel about the team, man, I actually feel good about. I feel good about it. I think they had a couple good additions to the roster. Getting the Horton kid, right,
Yes.
from
Yes.
Miami, I think that helps. That's going to help with Jermaine and Jeremy and young kid Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams.
I think that's giving you kind of a three-headed monster there if you're doing that. Obviously, the running back situation is okay, I believe. Getting another lineman in, Dewberry. I believe that's his name.
Yeah,
Transferred, came
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
from
Dewberry.
A&M. I think that's big. So I think from an offensive standpoint, I think they're going to understand what they want, what DeBoer and those guys want with their offense. I think they would. I still think it was kind of vanilla on what they felt like they could do last year. And now a lot of that could have been because of just Jalen Milroe and the type of quarterback he was. The running quarterback. That I don't know that was necessarily what DeBoer would like to have done
right.
with his offense, because that's not really his style. So I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. Actually wins it. Is it Ty Simpson?
Yes.
And can he sling the ball around a little bit? So I actually feel pretty good about that. Then you look at the defensive side, man, you got some guys coming back, man.
Yeah.
And there's
A lot
some
of them.
you got some young cats, man. So I just feel like we're stacked. I think that's where it gets to the pressure that's on him. I don't think you can't go on to, well, this is my first year. And I could say I was an apologist for DeBoer last year. Said, hey, give him time. It's his first year in. He got to get his way. He got to get his practice set the way, all the routines, all those things that have to happen as a first year coach. Not a first year coach, but a first year with that team,
Right.
getting your way. So I think, and you're looking at this deal, man, first of all, there ain't no way you can lose to Florida State. You better not. You can't. I don't know if they loaded up and went and bought a whole bunch of guys, but you don't want to lose to them. You don't want to lose to Wisconsin.
Right.
Definitely don't want to lose to Vanderbilt again.
No,
we're not. We're not. Ain't no more. We're not.
You working on that. You game planning them all off season long, trying to figure out what they're gonna do there. Right. So Tennessee, something happened with their quarterback, right? So maybe you got a one up there. Where's that next one? What kind of? That's LSU.
That's LSU. Yeah, that's LSU.
The Jaden Daniels piece is gone. I don't know who the quarterback is, but
Nussmeier. Nussmeier is supposed to be good. They got him Heisman talk for Nussmeier.
Yeah, and the good thing is that
it's at home. It's at home.
So
yes,
that's pretty good. I'm still feeling like you got a chance to still could potentially be undefeated if you play well. What is that next one?
That looks like Eastern Illinois.
Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, that's Eastern Illinois.
I ain't counting it. Eastern Illinois would take them. You take ULM. Georgia. Yeah, kind of is what it is. Maybe you can't have 3 losses again. I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we. I mean, two is the 2 is the bottom, right? As if we're looking at it, you can get in the playoffs at 10-2.
Yeah, and so maybe if you just because it's at Georgia.
a new quarterback. They have a new quarterback as well, so
they got talent though.
I mean, you don't lose in Missouri. I know South Carolina has been giving some fits, but I don't think we have that kind of fit anymore. I think we're better prepared. I think everybody mad about OU. They're coming back Tuscaloosa. We're gonna smash them, but man, it's gonna be
it's gonna be a funeral.
Light them up. Auburn at Auburn, we still beat Auburn. So 1 loss.
Yeah.
2 at the most if you lose to Tennessee or LSU, but I don't even see that at this point. So I
Mhm.
think that's about where you need to be, and you get in. I mean, the rankings way. I know they way early, but we're going to be preseason ranked pretty high. I would think. I don't know if there's one that's already
Top
kind of
10 for
out.
sure, bro.
Top
Yeah,
10 at least.
at
Yeah,
least.
so you can easily move up. Someone will lose, play one too close. I think we're set up the first, 3, 4, 5 weeks. We should have a really good idea of how
Okay.
we play, and that's where I'm. Again, at that point, we will have had a ton of film
Yeah.
to be able
Yes.
to talk
Yes.
about and really see where they're at.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that,
Yeah.
Monica.
Yeah.
Revenge
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
loading, man.
I
Man, I'm
like that
all in it.
MP.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm
So
out
I
here
mean,
in Texas, y'all. So out here dealing with OU, man. I'm tired of these OU fans. We gotta hurry up and beat them. I wish that game was early. Good Lord.
Me too.
yeah. So I mean, we about on the same. And my sentiments is I feel like we're gonna win all the home games. We got all the get back games that we lost last year. The OU, the Vandy, the Tennessee is at home. So I feel like we get all them back.
All right.
Georgia, we've been putting belt the ass to Georgia so many times. I feel like this time we're going there. There could be one game right there that if we got to be on our A+ game to beat them in their house.
Yeah.
And that Auburn game scares me, T. I know you said we're gonna beat Auburn, but we don't beat them 5 straight times.
Okay. All right. I see where you're going there. You say when is it end, huh? Just
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's away.
yeah.
I hate Jordan and Jordan Hair. For some reason by Jordan Hair.
I hate
That
that
voodoo,
place,
man.
man. I hate that place, bro. I mean, for
Did
real,
you hate
man.
playing now, T, when you played in Jordan? Did you hate it?
Bro, so I played in the very first game we ever played in Jordan here. If you didn't
Mm,
know that, in 90, I guess it was 89, the 89 season.
yeah,
Bro, it is ridiculous, man. I'll give it to him maybe just because it was the first time ever, going there. But
right.
bro, they tried to flip our bus over. Man, it was like, we felt like we needed like the old high school stuff going up the crap. Felt like we need to put our helmets on, and stuff of that nature. We need to have on the bus like that. Just like, man. And I will say it was one of the loudest games that I'd ever been in. They had Reggie Slack and Cadillac Williams and they were fast. Yeah, I mean, we ended up losing. But it was just a game to remember. Maybe because it was the first time.
Yeah,
But we clocked them the next 3 years after that, so it didn't matter. We started killing Stan White and them cats, and so did get them back later on, but it was just that's a place that I never forget playing.
yeah.
They're in Tennessee. Tennessee is loud too. If you ain't been to a Tennessee game, you need to go. It's crazy, ridiculously loud.
Yeah. Man, so I mean, so winning the Natty is a real possibility because we only see one, maybe 2 losses. Getting the playoffs is going to be key. I mean, you looking at the expansion, they talking about 12, 14, 16 team.
Yeah.
You're going to have to win 3, 4 games to get to the national championship. I mean, now that's really beyond. So T, before we wrap up, man, what you think about the playoff format? They talking about adding teams and all this. I mean, adding teams. What you think about that, T?
I don't know why we keep messing around with what it's supposed to be. Just put the doggone thing at 16 teams and call it a day. You go from 4 and okay, you go to 12. Why? Because if you're not going to do it how you do it in the NFL, with what they have 12 or maybe 14 now.
I think they got 14 because they got 7
14.
on. Yeah, they on 14.
Yeah, but stop messing around. Guys, we got to stop messing around with the money. Don't keep counting checks. Oh man, we got to add more games, more TV revenue, more stuff, more whatever. Because it's going to get just like the NFL. You start playing too many games, these guys are going to be getting hurt. You can't play. You play 20 games if you go to the Super Bowl,
Right.
in the NFL. Now you ask these guys to play 13 regular season games or whatever, plus, whatever. And then you're going to add another 3, 4. You're getting 17, 18 games. You're playing NFL style
Wow.
play. And it is NFL style play in the SEC. or the
Yeah.
Power Four. And so now you're going to be getting these guys dinged up, bruised up. Maybe they don't care because they'd have to pay him all this money now and trying to get him out of there. But I think just go ahead and go 16, divide it up nice and easy, and just be done with it. Figure out how to do this NIL stuff, and pay the players what you're gonna pay them, but not too much. Get a salary cap on this thing,
That's right.
Yes.
and actually take some of the power from the players, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a player, but you got to take a little bit away from them. At least make them stay put for 2 years, or make them a commodity for real. Start trading them. How about that? I'll trade you to. You want to leave? No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me call the whatever Wisconsin. We'll send you up there to this cold weather. Let you deal with that.
That's a good idea, T. I mean, imagine having a transfer portal period and with trading involved.
Yeah, come on. You want to get in there? Oh, I'll own you for like 30 days. Oh, no, well, they give them like 7 days. We finna cut some deals. Just give me them two, give me them two. Man, I'm telling you.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that, man. Hey, we heard it here first. If they start trading players in college football, Teague said it here first.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, hey, my boy TJ said, go get Jeremiah Smith from OSU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Hey, man, there's so much money flying around, guys. It's ridiculous on this stuff. I'm watching these gifts, and I say this not in bitter ways because I think it's great that guys can, do this. It's just the way that it's different. When you see guys sign or become new people, that they're actually buying houses and cars and stuff for their parents.
Parents,
It's
yes.
like, oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. Yes, you get to set yourselves up financially and start, maybe changing the dynamic of your family. I think we can lose sight of what football is supposed to be at that age. Meaning you're still growing up, you're still building relationships, you're still trying to find a wife, you're still trying to do all these other things. And now it's just like, man, we talked about it earlier. You're not riding for the brand. You're not coming to Alabama because you like the block A or the script A.
Right.
You're coming because you're trying to figure out what kind of check you can get and then bail on you. That's the part I don't like. I want people to come to Alabama because they want to graduate from Alabama. They know if there's a standard here for us. We need you here for that. Yeah, you can negotiate and do some things and get your money, but just we're not a pit stop for folks. And I think you're seeing that because we did have people leave,
That's
like
right.
other schools. So
that's
there
right.
you go.
That's right. One last question right there, man. From said, as AD George, was you our athletic director? How do you deal with the NIL, bro?
I'm gonna give guys annuities. I'm giving you a retirement package. You don't get the money right now. Yeah, I'm gonna give you. Hey, yeah, okay. We're gonna negotiate or whatever. Let's just say it's $100,000 a year. You don't get to touch it though. You got to play. Once you, I want to drop it off in an account. It's what they do in the NFL. Hey, after you gone for like 5 years from the NFL, then you can get it. You can cash it in. So protect it from yourself a little bit. Come on now. I don't know how y'all are, but y'all some gump boys. If you just rolled into $1 million right quick, what you doing, man? You done bought every barbecue grill. You done bought every new pair of shoes. You see these chains, man. It ain't. It ain't even gotta be about that. And I think we need to protect guys from themselves because
I agree.
To me, it's set them up for retirement. Hey man, you're gonna get your $1 million. Maybe you get 100,000 right now, but the rest of it's going over here, and you're gonna play. And then we'll figure out. 2 years after you leave, then you can get it, but you don't get to come. Did you hear the stories that they're actually handing kids cash? And this stuff just it's all the horror stories that scare me, dude. I got to check that's my last story. So I got to check after the after the Sugar Bowl, after we won that game, right? That was my first time actually running into some real money. I didn't even know what that was. And I'm saying real money. Real money was like $25,000. Had an
Right.
artist come and say, "Hey man, you sign all these prints. We're gonna sell these things. You know, we're gonna
Mhm.
cut you this check, right?" Man, now you know where I came from. We're doing that. And I'm like telling my parents, like, man, this is like 25K, man. They're just gonna give me like within
That's
a
big.
week after the
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, oh Lord, you know, bro. So I got to go to the compliance and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, you can't take that money. Now this you can't take it. Well, you can't be a student because the rules was different then. Now they're paying you. You can't be a student. But then I started talking to other people. Hey, we can sign this one 25. You can sign this one another 10,000 or whatever. So I'm like, I need to get this right. So I don't go to school the last semester because I want to do this. But now I know how I'm acting, right? Because what do? I did exactly what they did. I went and got me a nice car. I did have barbecues all the time. I would go to class. We were cooking up some old cheap meat from Publix or Winn Dixie or whatever it was, Piggly Wiggly. I don't know
Yeah.
something. And it was, and we're not even talking about the same amount of money, but it's probably comparatively speaking to the same magnitude of money of back in the day.
From 30 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
There they
Yeah,
go.
you hand me that kind of money, it's like, good Lord. And then I'm doing autograph session after autograph session after autograph session. $1,000 here, $1,500 there, 5,000 there, 500 here. And it's just like, and I ain't even got drafted yet. Man, I'm running all up and down the street, the state. And so those things kind of, I can say I know how they feel in the sense of what that is, but I know what my pitfalls were too. Because what happened was then that next year they said, hey, you got to pay taxes on this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, T,
Oh,
you
I wasn't
earned
saving.
Wow.
I wasn't saving. Now I was like, oh. Now, thankfully, I went to the league, and no knock on my folks, but my folks didn't want like that. They didn't know how to educate me on this
right.
type of money. I didn't have a mentor or no one at the school to be like, hey, you need to put this 20% back or this 30% back because you're gonna have to get this or that, or you made this money in a different state. So
Mm.
now you got to pay taxes in there. Man, it was overwhelming, and if nobody's helping these kids, it could be disastrous.
And now you know the difference on what you just said. You earned that because of your play on the field. You won a national championship. You was a huge
Championship.
part in that. So you got to, reap the benefits. These guys coming straight out of high school asking for $1 million, $2 million. Y'all ain't proved a damn thing on the college level. So why not? Okay, like you mentioned, we don't give you 100,000 sign. Okay, but the rest of your money gonna come at the end once you done proved it. We're gonna put this money up for you, and keep building up your value, but you don't get the money. And let's be honest, y'all, who at 18, 19 years old needs $1 million if you're playing sports and you're going to college? You got to focus on the game.
Yeah, JB, you hit it on the head, and I'm gonna put
Yeah.
the words in his mouth. He said incentives. They need to make these deals with incentives. If you want that kind of money, well, you better throw for 3,000 yards, run for 25 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's all you get. and you better
like
not get in trouble with the police, or that it's kind of get some stuff done. That's what it is. That's a lot of that
I like
stuff.
that.
Yeah, that you
Mm-hmm.
need to have some incentives. They do them in the NFL too. Here's your money, but you can make a whole bunch more if you meet these measurables or these things. You want to go get 5
Yep.
interceptions, then, sir. Lead the SEC in interceptions. We're going to give you extra 250.
Right.
That's it.
Or whatever. Lead the team in tackles. You get an extra 100. Whatever it
Mhm.
is. And that's what then now guys are playing for their money. They're earning it. They're getting their incentive. Ooh, man.
Yep.
Now you just flipped my whole AD mindset.
And to me, and you have to be at least on the team for at least 2 years before you can hit the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to happen. I think
Yeah.
that's going to come.
Think so? You think so?
I think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. You do that.
That's it.
Okay. If you know you commit to this team, and once you sign and you're committed for at least 2 years, no matter if you play or not.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like that.
I agree. And Bama standing down there talking about the contracts. You just might just do it, man. Just call it semi-pro. Just
right.
Yeah. Forget it. I don't know if the kid's going to class or not. You know.
Just, see, they can go class online. They ain't even got to go in the classroom no more.
I know, right?
Man. Just
you already know.
They're football players. Just go and do what you're gonna do. Because we really, I mean, I'm gonna come watch you play the game regardless. Well, I don't know if you're great, if you can make it A's, B's, or C's.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
I'm going to watch you play. You're an entertainer, so I'm gonna pay you to entertain me. And hopefully you're doing the right thing and doing good to people the way that you guys are doing great to people on this show, man. I love it, man. I don't know, man. I appreciate me on the show, man. You gotta get me on the show, man. You know what I'm saying?
We got you. We got you.
T, man. I know you're gonna be busy during the season, but we gonna get you back on, man. We're gonna find time to get you back on because we're gonna talk NFL. Me and this man Seaway, we do a show, and we every week during the season. We're gonna talk Bama, we're gonna talk NFL, and we're just gonna keep it flowing. So whenever you got a chance, man, you anytime, you welcome.
All right. Well,
before we leave, I got one more question. Can I get an autographed picture of you taking the ball from Lamar Thomas?
You ain't got one yet?
Not yet.
Man, what's wrong with you? But you said you didn't even ask for the one about T.O. I'm kind of disappointed you didn't ask for the hit on T.O. You wanted the one.
I take that.
So if you got hold on,
I'll
which
take
one?
That one too.
No. If you get to choose one, which one you taking? Me hitting T.O. or me taking the ball from Lamar Thomas? Which one you taking?
Me personally, Lamar Thomas, because that's my favorite Bama play of all time.
Okay. You put that in the chat. Which one they want? Which one they gonna want? They want me to hit T.O. or they want to? Okay. Well,
and T.O. got to stop being petty, man. And talk.
He does.
So T, before you go, if you run into T.O. at one of these Cowboys functions, what it gonna be like? It's gonna be smoke. What's it gonna be, T?
Oh yeah, there's. I feel like the room will get kind of hostile very quick because people are always trying to get us to come to the same place, and I just don't see it going well. And it's really because I think it's old, man. It's been so long, man. I get it. It just, it just.
You're right.
Hey, T.O. still swole now. He's still swole up now. You think you can take him?
Well, you know what? I was swole. Hold on. Let me get my push-ups on right quick right here for you, boy. I had a camera on the floor. I bust off 50 for you right quick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no little dude. My wife says she ain't married no punk, so that's the way it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you from the gump.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, wait a minute. What Bama style? Who was faster, George Teague running down Lamar Thomas or Willie Castle running down?
Willie. Hey, Willie. Willie wasn't that fast. All you gotta do is watch the film. Watch the. I should be talking about my boy like that.
That's Justin Riley being petty right there.
Justin always try to stir up some stuff, man. I ain't messing with y'all. I saw Willie Gaston down the Mobile. What was that Mobile for? Anyway, I saw Willie Gaston not too long ago, man. He looked good. I saw Roosevelt Patterson, a bunch of the old guys. I went down there to speak to the Red Elephant Club. So a lot of the guys were there. It was kind of cool to be able to do that, catch up with everybody and kick it down there. It was pretty good. So anyway, man, I got to run, man. I got to get going.
Yes,
y'all do this kind of stuff for a living, man. Some of us still got jobs and stuff like that.
So. We got jobs too, T. We do it for the love, baby. We do it for the love. So tell the people where they can find your T Take podcast when we go, brother.
Yeah, man. Of course, y'all need to be watching us in the fall on the Bama Standard. That's for sure. I am going to be getting with Justin here pretty soon to talk about maybe some new and improved things that we want to do. You can find us on YouTube at Teague's Take. Of course, you can find me on Twitter and IG at Teague Football personally. Okay. And it can be at Teague's Take as well on both IG and Twitter. But man, we have a good time. We're going to be doing a lot of Alabama football when we get into the fall. We'll really kick ourselves off pretty heavily, towards the end of July. And then we'll be going every single week like y'all right here on the Bama Standard, but also on Teague's Take channel. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get this thing crack-a-locking and
Yes, sir.
Roll Tide and go Cowboys.
Roll Tide, go
Tide,
Cowboys.
go
Hey, shout
Cowboys.
out to the good people at Title Tower. I almost forgot about them, man. I'll go check them out at Whitwheel Sports. It's your boy JB, man. My podcast partner DJ C-Way and the legendary George Teague.
In the house. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Out here, y'all. All right. Y'all have a good night, man. God bless y'all.